So you're interested into making little baby emotional melodies. If that's what you're interested in, I'm gonna help you today so that you can accomplish that, okay? I basically started listening a couple of those songs, and then I liked it and I wanted to make something like that. And a couple, basically I think probably about a week ago, I started really, not 100%, but I started really mastering it. Like it started looking more like that, you get what I mean? So if you don't really know how to do that, in this video I'm gonna help you, okay? So let's jump on FL Studio. Just before we jump on FL Studio, don't forget to subscribe and let's start, okay? So basically I've got here a melody, okay? Basically a beat, you get what I mean? But let me show you the melody because you probably don't know how to make those melodies, and that's the point, that's the reason why you're watching this video, okay? So let me show the melody first, okay? You have a vibe, you get what I mean?
Rafa on the track, brother.
You get what I mean? It's that vibe with the vocals, more like a chill vibe. The drums are not hitting so, especially not so fast, you get what I mean? It's more like chill, you get what I mean? So yeah, let me break it down how I made this melody, you get what I mean? I actually made the whole bit back. So let's start with the first thing, which is this, which basically you can call it the main melody, okay? Basically it's a pattern that repeats, you get what I mean, right here. And so first, where did I found this sound, okay? Actually, I found it on Splice, you got what I mean? And Splice is a very nice platform, you got what I mean? Because I think for the first month you can only pay like $1, you got what I mean? Actually, you have to pay more afterwards, but for the first month you can pay $1 and you can get access to 200 sounds, you get what I mean? So that's fantastic. So you might want to try this. I don't remember exactly. I think like the thing that I searched was like piano or something along those lines, okay? But actually as well, I have a course, you got what I mean, is in the link in the description, you got what I mean? Which in there I basically teach you in 100% how to make a little baby emotional melody, you get what I mean? And in there is gonna be this sound as well, you get what I mean? And a lot of other sounds that I'm gonna show to you in these videos, breaking down like how to make these emotional melodies, okay? So this is something that you might be interested, you get what I mean? So if you're interested, is in the link in the description, okay? So let's continue, you get what I mean? Let's talk about the next thing. The thing here, the thing I'm not really showing what I've mixed, you get what I mean? Because I didn't mix a lot, you get what I mean? I opened a little bit of image stereo right here, and I didn't use reverb even though it's right here, but I didn't use. I just use a free parametric IQ, and what I did, I basically just like cut some low frequencies, you get what I mean, and some high frequencies, which is very important, and I just hiked like a little bit, like I pumped out a little bit more these high frequencies right here, just to sound a little bit with there's more air on the sound, you get what I mean, on this first melody, okay? Basically the main melody, you get what I mean? So that's what I did, you get what I mean? Nothing too crazy, because I found this on Splice is already pretty mixed, you get what I mean? So you as you heard, you can see that there's not a lot to do that, you get what I mean? Not a lot to touch on it, you get what I mean? It's already sounding good, you get what I mean? There's not a lot of noise or something like that. But so let's go for the next thing, okay? Which is this. Oops, oh sorry, I think something happened, okay. Okay, so is this, you get what I mean? Another sound that I found on Splice as well. And I just realized that had really the vibe that I wanted, you get what I mean? Just complemented the main melody, you get what I mean? It basically has the same pattern right here. It has exactly the same pattern. You get what I mean? So I just copy the pattern and I just made this, you get what I mean? And it sounds pretty good, you get what I mean? Together, it's like this. Oops, something is wrong right here. Up. Yeah, okay. You got what I mean? The vibe is way better. Like there's a little bit of vinyl noise. You get what I mean? It just gives an extra vibe to the melody. So I think he sounded very good for sure. So what I basically I did the same thing. You know what I mean? Of course, I opened a little bit of image stereo, but actually, in general, I have a melody bus, so I opened a little bit more. So of course, I did not only open this amount of image stereo here. I basically added a little bit more here in all of them. You get what I mean? But yeah, I just put it on the left. You get what I mean? This is a very good advice. You get what I mean? Because when all the melodies are in the same place, it can just sound worse. You get what I mean? If you have at least not all of them, but some, for example, on the left, on the right, it just makes it sound way better. And then I just didn't even use frequency reverb because you can notice that you don't really have to. You get what I mean? And then I just cut. I just did I cut it like some low frequencies, some high frequencies, and that's it. I didn't do too much more. Of course, you can see that with I touched a little bit on these. This is like the middle of the frequencies, and a little bit of the high frequencies as well, but nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? Something that you like by feeling, you will understand kind of what to do. You know what I mean? Especially cutting the high and low frequencies is very important. You know what I mean? Because there's some melodies that you like allow more to have low frequencies, but you don't want all of them to have low frequencies because then it can sound worse. But as well, when you're going to put the drums, when you combine with the drums, like, you know what I mean, if there's a lot of low frequencies, you get what I mean, you know what happens, you get what I mean. So you don't want that, you get what I mean. So yeah, this is what I did. Very simple, and it sounds pretty good already. Okay, next thing. This is a thing that sounded so good, you get what I mean. Something that like I didn't even like notice on the Lil Baby emotional melody or something like that. You get what I mean? But it sounds like the vibe. You get what I mean? And I think it's something like kind of different that I did, but it sounds pretty good. So it sounds like this, and then. Okay, so what did I do with the mix with this? I didn't do too much as well. Right here, basically. Fruit per metric as oops. No, I actually did it. This is actually opened by because I have a template. You get what I mean? And I actually realized I had forgotten. You get what I mean? But I didn't do basically nothing. Just open a little bit of image stereo, and that's it. You get what I mean? Because it's already sounding pretty good. You get what I mean? So let's jump on to the next thing. Okay. So the next thing is basically something to complement that electric guitar, which is this. So basically, when it plays the guitar, you get what I mean? Like, then it really complements. You get what I mean? You know what I mean? It makes it sound like it's something kind of different, but it makes it really sounds more entertaining, the melody. You know what I mean? So I think I found like very, very cool. You know what I mean? So then a very important part on the Lil Baby emotional melodies is the vocals, because I found like without the vocals, it feels like it's not really the vibe. Of course, like you don't have to like make the Lil Baby emotional melodies exactly that way, you get what I mean? But they help a lot, you get what I mean? Another thing I found on Splice as well, okay? Basically, I just tried to build in a way so that I can use the 8 bars, you get what I mean? And just repeats like this, you get what I mean? So something you might try. It depends on the vocals, you get me? Some vocals you can lose all the 8 bars here. I had to cut, you get me, because I don't know, you're going to know what to do in your case, okay? So yeah, so for the mix right here, I actually did more. I did the same thing as always, you get what I mean? And then the fruit reverb, yeah, added some reverb, a little bit decay, a little bit of wet right here, you know what I mean? And nothing too crazy, you get what I mean, but added for sure, you get what I mean? And then, yeah, opened a little bit more image there right here, but as I already told you, I opened it right here as well on the melody bus, you get what I mean? And right here as well, I just cut it some low frequencies, but this actually not on the all the whole melody is actually in the beginning and some parts. Look at this. So basically, okay, you can see it right here. Just to, you know what I mean? It's more open right here. There's just something like people usually do when they're arranging the beats, you get what I mean? But yeah, even without that, it sounds the vibe, you get what I mean? Usually, something that I'm finding, I saw on the new Lil Baby emotional melodies, not the piano ones, but these ones, you get what I mean? I found that they use bass, you get what I mean? A lot on the, at least the beginning. In this case, I didn't felt the necessity because I don't know, just already felt that it was kind of a bass. I didn't felt there was need for that, you get what I mean? But in general, you might want a bass, you get what I mean? And the type of bass that I recommend, I think you already know what I'm gonna say, is like smooth bass, like really loud, or not even loud, but there's a lot of noise on it. You want something smooth. It's like you get what I mean, not something so loud. The plays so loud. You get what I mean. That's what you want. You get what I mean. So this is it. You get what I mean. This is how the melody sounds. You get what I mean. Of course, I've made some differences right here. So that I would recommend as well. This is just to make the melody better in general. It's just sometimes add some differences. So sometimes you can, like, I don't know, make this an audio and then pitch up 8 notes, something like that, to just add some variety. You get what I mean? But in general, what I recommend right here, it's basically the main melody, okay? Which usually, this is basically a piano, the main melody, but it's a little bit more, sounds a little bit more different. But like a piano, I recommend a piano. Then something maybe to complement the main melody. And then some like 1 or 2 that has that call and response. You get what I mean? So something that is ta-na-na, ta-na-na-na. In this case, that's what we have that. You get what I mean? You get what I mean? Something just to add some variety that you can use sometimes and not. Sometimes you will not use. Just it's good to have some variety, of course. And then the vocal. That's probably the most important thing. You get what I mean? The most important thing is, of course, the main melody in the vocal, you get what I mean? Because without the vocal, you'll not get that vibe that you want, you get what I mean? So, this is it. This is what I recommend. Yeah, and I didn't talk about the BPM, but the BPM is usually not more, usually than 140, you get what I mean? More something like 130, 120, you get what I mean? Of course, you don't want something so fast, you know what I mean? With some more slow, more chill. So yeah, that's it, you know what I mean? So that's it. I hope I helped you, brother. Don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.